All right, welcome in, sports fans. Sorry, that was a little bit longer than I normally like to start off with. It's just in some deep spots. This guy luck sucked it up there and got all the chippies. It just happens that way sometimes. Okay, where are we at? This thing. How you guys doing today? Welcome in, welcome in. I've already completed just one. I started a little bit later this morning. I was just, as I said, catching hijinks. Hi, Hisgar hijinks. Welcome in, sir. Welcome in. It is that morning. How are you doing? Did you get, ladies and gentlemen, Hisgar is a fellow streamer. Where's my stuff? Where is my stuff? This is what I was looking for over here. Hisgar and I are friends, and we play World of Warcraft together. And the young man is trying to learn how to play poker. So I'm trying to do the best I can and help this guy out. Go check him out. I just assume this is the right one, actually. Hisgar, it is on a 3-minute delay. So I do apologize for that. But this is what, that should be it right there. Yeah, I'm going to re-enter this tournament. 7-bucker. And this one comes way over here. So we got 20 people in this tournament. That's not very good. I'm not sure why this has taken so long. What's this one? This has got 879 people. This other one I'm in has got 51 people. So we've got a ways to go on both of these. Let's do that. Let's get this one up here. What happened here? The 350 should be this one. Yeah, so you want to know why I can never get together, why I can never play first thing in the morning? This is it. This is what I gotta do. It's got 3 tournaments going. Got my glass of water. Water. Did you get those 16s done with Rihanna last night? Let's give her a shout out as well. Longer than I normally like to start off. There we go. Rihanna is a member of the Astralin. Let's give her a shout out as well. Astralin all-female stream. There's 4 of them that get together on Sunday. Oops, why is it so loud? It's me talking. It's got a 5-member girl stream that they run. Okay, and then let's see, what else do they have here? They got 51 over here. Rebuy. I am 5th out of 32. So I like to track different sites. Can we change this one? So you can see how I changed that color. Why can't I change this one? Holy smokes, that's like no good at all. It's nothing. Love it, right? You got 6 outs. You know what I like to say about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to hit those 6 cards. One of those 6 cards is 3 7s, 3 jacks. I've got the rest of that. That's how many outs I have. That's how many they have. It's awesome. I love it. I cannot change this table for the life of me. I can't make it change to these guys. I mean, it's just wackadoodle. Sometimes things work, sometimes don't. I have no idea how and why. Anyway, let's get back over to here. I'm in for this tournament, in for this one for 2 bullets. I'm currently 12th out of 20. This one over here, there's 906 people. I'm 308 of 721. So we have 2 hours to go in both of these tournaments. Both of these, or all of these, should have a black. Should have a black top like this. This one I just left the rebuy period, out of the rebuy period. I was 5th out of 32, I think, on that one. We are working it through, and 8 people get a ticket on this. So we got some work to do here. What do we got over here? Oh, this one works out really well. Let's come over to this one. Right, we've just taken an aggressive stance here all the way through. There's no reason to slow down. We raised pre-flop. Lucas called us. We checked this flop and then we hit it. This is also a good card to bluff at, even if we don't have it. Right, so there's nothing wrong with doing that. Snap call over here by Carol. That's good. We like that. Got a straight, Josh Manley. What the deuce? How do you go wrong with that when you got an ace? I have Josh Manley Poker going up in the background. I urge you to go check him out. I'm a supporter of the guy. I like the guy's stream. I like his vibe. I like his jam. I like the shit that he puts out. I highly recommend going to check that guy out. What's this? We can call 1 on this one over here. Okay. We have some history with ghosts, so kind of know where we're at with that. Very little chance we're going to fold to this. I have completed, let's see, it's the 20... it is the 22nd today, which means I have completed so far in the month of January 2,100 push-ups, 2,100 sit-ups, and 4,200 leg flutters or swimmer kicks. I'm not sure what he was thinking there. So, I mean, Hisgar, right? We talk a lot about poker. We talk lots of different things. There's in my Discord, you can go check it out. There is there's a YouTube video in the poker. Oh, this is a pretty good flop, right? This is pretty good. There's a YouTube video of his name is Alec Torelli. That's this guy here, owns this book. And he talks about hand reading, which is worse than a funnel system. And there's actually a picture of him doing this. It's a funnel system. Once you go down the funnel, you can't jump back. That's the whole key. That's the whole piece of it. You have to, once you go down there, it doesn't make any sense. Thus, you can call off. Lots of different cards, lots of different hands. So in this last one, is it this one? Yeah, where the guy, it's like the flop is king, 6, deuce or something like that, and a jack on the turn. He leads at the jack, and then it's a brick on the river, and he leads at it. I mean, that's probably not a great one to lead at. The question is, if he had a king, why wouldn't he lead right away? Right? If he has a jack, now it becomes a kicker issue. I mean, I get it, I understand, but I'm not folding, right? Especially after I hit that, so. So, I mean, it is what it is. Just keep doing what we're doing and going what we're going and why we're whying, right? So, it is it is. We're going to have to hit a 6 over here. Ghost has got some good hands here. We're going to have to hit this. We miss, but we're going to try and set it up. A check raise would work as well, but now there's no check raise here. This guy has the nuts. So we are going to get out of the way for sure. There's zero chance. All right. Now he actually turns out he's behind, but I guess that's what you get for playing ace-3, right? Anyway, let's keep going here. I gotta update my sheet. What's this one over here? I am Groot. Hey, don't talk like that. I love it. What's over here? Trying to get this stuff done. My Discord, I was talking to his guy yesterday and had to turn channels off because the Discord is just so full. Not tonight, I have ketchup. Too funny. Wait, what does that mean? Just kidding. All right. So the kicker, the thing to do is not to play your hands differently when you have aces versus 7, but to play the same way. Right? And this is why some bluffs are more credible than other bluffs. Where are we at here? You're making me want to dance. Alright, we're going to have to chunk it all in here with our pocket 7s. Can you say the name again? I'll look up the book. His name is Alec Torelli. Here, I'll type it in there. As I said, it's in the Discord. In my Discord, you have access. You can go in there and you can see it. It's under poker or something like that. Where I'll even put the link in here so you can look it up. Poker YouTube is what it's called, I think. So at the very top of that, here it is, Alec Torelli, Conscious Poker, Alec Torelli. Oops. Champagne Poker, welcome in, sir. Welcome in. Great morning. We hit gin over here. All right, we have the stone cold. So I mean, we can never be folding now, right? So we'll just bet 30. I mean, how do we fold here, right? We can't fold for this. We have the nuts. We turn the nuts. The stone cold. We can't fold, right? But he let out and we called, and that's the takeaway. Dear diary, giggity giggity. We're still ripping this up over here. 10. Oops, that's the wrong one. I am 10th out of 28. Sorry, 10th out of 26, my bad. And 8 people get a ticket, so we're going to have to play some cards here. Hard and fast, and some pushes, and all the other things that go with it. We're really going to need a heart here. S Champagne Poker, go check him out. He's a fellow poker streamer. We are on 888 Poker together. I was gonna say this guy's not folding, right? He's already shown that he's not going to fold there, so you have to hit. Alec Torelli. There's the link. He's got a bunch. He's a poker coach, and so Champagne Poker and I were talking about this last week about a bunch of different things of how to study better. You can do lots of different things, right? You can get a coach, you can watch YouTube videos, you can get a book, you can talk to other poker peoples. Right, there's lots of different things that you can do, but there are different price points to all those things, right? And some are better than others. Just reading a book is not going to do it. I don't believe that's true. We've talked a little bit, Champagne Poker and I. He says his learning style is this, and that learning style isn't for not everyone. I have a learning style of this, and that style isn't for everyone. As my coach in university said, it's probably more something in between. I can tell you how to do it, I can show you how to do it, but it's probably a combination of something in between. What is this? Yeah, so, and then if you're just, the second piece to that study is execution. Right? You gotta, just because you read a book, if you don't understand what the book is saying, then you're not going to be as successful. If you don't have someone you can talk to about what you're reading and break it down and come at it, then you're not going to be as successful. Right? I'm a huge proponent of Plato, The Republic. Nice hand. Plato's Republic, and the cave analogy. And it's just a bunch of prisoners that are in the cave, and the prisoners do shadow pop-ups up against the wall and tell prisoners that's what it is. This is an elephant, this is a tree. And they have no frame of reference, so the prisoners go, okay, that's fine. But then one prisoner breaks away and gets out of the cave and finds out what a tree actually is, finds out what an elephant actually is. The point is that you have a moral obligation to go back and help the people that are still in the cave because they don't know. And so it's going to take a lot of effort to prove to the other prisoners that's what it is, whatever that is. But you have to speak in a language that they understand, not in a language that you understand, because you already know it. A different example of the same thing is getting two like-minded engineers speaking together. Two electrical engineers, two civil engineers. Those two civil engineers will speak to each other very differently when it's just them versus when they're with someone like you or I. Because I'm assuming of the three of us, none of us are engineers, right? So they're going to speak at a really high level and verbiage and language that they know. And we're going to go, what the hell are you guys talking about? You're speaking Greek. It's not that they don't know what they're talking about. It's not that they're not experts, or right? But they speaking in a language that they understand each other, not that we understand. So that's it. That's my takeaway from Plato's Republic. And when I'm talking to like one shot, one kill, you pick any one of these hands. This is the next one we're on here. This guy here raises with ace 5 suited. On the surface, that seems like a really, really good hand. But if you have ace king here, or ace king here, and this raises, I asked him, if you were in one of these two positions, would you fold your hand if you had ace king? He said no. Then why would you think that someone else is going to do it when you raise your ace 4 here? If I have ace king and you have ace 4, you have the 4 outs to hit. That's 3 cards. I have the rest of the deck. All I have to do is just fade those 3 outs. He says, oh, I never thought about it like that. That's exactly right. You have to speak to a language in a way that they understand, not in a way that you understand. Right? And so when they have the 3 outs, don't get upset when they hit the 3 outs. encourage them and legitimately encourage them, right? Because you want them to keep playing that over and over and over again. When you play on, when you play anywhere, you'll hear poker players, oh, nice hand, nice fucking hand. Like some crap like that, just so laced with vitriol. But the reality is you want them to do that, right? Over and over and over again, you want them to do that. Thanks, you bookmarked it to my poker tab. Excellent. It's I have 3 books on my desk right here, 2 of which are by the same guy, one of which is this one just for reference. Again, Alex Torelli. I bought this book not for anything else. This is called the Poker Coach. Poker Coach by Alex Torelli. Practical strategies to manage your bankroll and outsmart your opponents. I think this book cost me $15. I forget exactly. It's got to be close to that. What was this one? Oops. Let's take a look. What was this one? Valuation document. Dealer drive. Succession plan. Okay. Can't call this off, right? Gut shot. Can't call that off. Get out of the way. So that's the first one, and I just picked that one because of this hand reading. This is the other book. I read this book every year. Kara's Book of Poker Tells. I bought this book 20 years ago. I read it every single year because it's genius, right? I continue to use this book and read this, learn from this book every year. So as I just said about the analogy, I read it cover to cover and not straight away. I just go to, you can see I got a bunch of different bookmarks up here. I pick it up and I start reading from Tell 30. What's this one? Tell 29. Tell 29. Go ahead and bet your 2 pairs, sucker. Weak means strong. Strong means weak. He talks about what that means in here. And so it's your responsibility as a poker player to learn the language. Learn the language that what your opponent's trying to say. And as he says in this book specifically, once you learn, like, it's your job to figure out what your opponent's trying to say, and then disappoint him by doing the opposite. If he wants you to call, then you fold. If he wants you to check, then you bet or raise. And then the one, I probably reference this one more than anything else, by the same guy. Page 23 is it? It's dog marked right away, or it's not dog marked. It goes to it right away. What is this right here? Excuse me. I think this is going to be a fold here. Like, I really do. I'm not so worried about this, but this is a big bet. And then I'm going to be out of position. So I'm going to have to hit here. Hit to win. That's what's going to happen there. So I think this is a fold. I don't think that's the reason to do that. Right? Hisgar. I was thinking of doing a Twitch video of Hisgar and a key, specifically to help you study movements or cast priority. Would that be helpful? I don't think that's the reason to do that. I play poker here. You see me playing poker. And the reason why I do poker is because I get something out of it. And I hope, and I use that with air quotes, I hope other people, viewers like you that want to learn how to play poker, get something out of it. And if you get something out of it, then that's awesome. But that's a tertiary, or a secondary benefit. So I would suggest that if you want to do a Twitch video to specifically help people study movements and cast priority, you should do that. Absolutely. But don't do it because I'm going to get movement out of it. Now, I would get benefit out of it, but don't do it for that reason. Let's grip and rip it. Let's go all in on this one. This is good enough. Where is it here? This is good enough. These guys can't have that. This guy is never going to have aces, kings. He might have ace king, but he's never going to. No, he's not going to have ace king. So this is just an easy takedown of 8 bigs, 7.5, 8.5, 9 bigs, 9 bigs. Yeah. Right? Does that make sense? Don't do it because I'm going to get a benefit out of it. Do it because you're going to get a benefit out of it. YouTube, my poker coach, he and I talked a couple years ago about doing up a YouTube channel about poker hands. He says, yes, but we only want to do it if we monetize it. So that's fantastic, but I don't want to do it because of monetization. All right, that will come to it. Do it because we love it. Do it because we know that this is the right thing to do. And if other people think there's a benefit out of it, then the money will follow after. Don't do it just for the money's sake. This is the same thing. Do it because you want to do that, not because you think I'm going to get a benefit out of it. All these chips are going to go in here, by the way. Got some history here, so I'm going to have to just check call a couple times. Wait, this one. What's over here? Dear diary, giggity giggity. At New Dave, I think you're right. He's mad at me. Someone's mad at someone. Same table hype, and you've been ignoring me and throwing things at you. Lime Ricky. Lime Ricky's awesome, by the way. Go check her out. I think she's a phenomenal person. Okay, what's this one over here? Sorry. I got the wrong stuff. Got too much going on right at this moment. It's like 5 things happening all at the same time. Anyway, so page 23. This is probably, I will upload this actually to my Discord. That's him. That's it. One of the many books that I read. But page 23. Page 23. This is still in the intro, but it's so important here. He calls it the Table of Misery. And we'll get to what the Table of Misery is in just 1 second. While this chart, there we go. While this chart is deliberately elementary and ignores many concepts critical to professional hold'em, it nonetheless illustrates a profound truth. So, this guy here, I'm surprised he shows up with ace 3. It's much more likely that he had a pocket pair. I just was going to donk it all off, but I pushed back against this guy a bunch of times. I'm not doing that. So here's the same sort of thing. I'm going to have to make a... I live and breathe to help others. No, I think that's incorrect. You get benefit out of your belief that you're helping others, but you have no evidence, no proof that actually helps other people. You believe that it helps other people. You want it to help other people, but you can't prove that it does help other people. Right? So it's actually a validation of our own egos of why we do those things. I believe politicians are altruistic. I believe that they go into politics because they believe that they are wanting to help people. And along the way, you'll find politicians, I think, get dissuaded. They start off doing this. They want to help people. They want to get in there. And then this gets caught up. And then it's, oh my God, they're way over here somewhere. Right? Yeah. I mean, I have an ex that I have children with. And I don't always agree with the decisions that she makes about children, about our children specifically. But there's no doubt in my mind, without a doubt, that I believe she believes she's making the best decisions. Because people just don't wake up and say, I'm going to do something that's going to fuck over my children so hard. People just don't do that. I'm going to do something so detrimental. I'm going to fuck everyone over in my inner circle. I don't think people do that. I think they do things because they believe that they're doing the right thing. They just don't know how to get around to doing that. So, okay, back in 4 minutes. Go do your push-ups. Go do your sit-ups. Go do your jumping jacks. Go do what you got to do. We got 3 minutes. 3 minutes to get this done. And make sure you get a glass of water when you come back. Back in 3 minutes. Okay, I'm back. 1 minute, minute and a half. I got a minute and 20 seconds. I got all those done. Just pound through that shit. I have wanted to make a mage video for a long time now. That's good. Then I encourage you to do that. Yeah, you should do that if that's what you want to do, and it doesn't hurt other people, which this doesn't. Let it rip, right? Absolutely, go for it. The one for you was merely to get one in before I leave. Yeah, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to remove myself out of the equation there. You shouldn't do it for me. You shouldn't do it because I would get benefit out of it. You do it because you're such a brat. Come on, let me get away with some exaggerations. You're such a brat. I love it. That means different things, and I think you and I are thinking differently than that. But we'll just let that go. That's got to pick your fights on it. Do it because that's what you want to do, right? As long as a friend of mine, a mentor of mine in sport, he actually said something similar to me years and years and years ago. He said, in terms of my children, if my children are about to do something and it doesn't hurt or it doesn't put them at risk to hurt themselves, I let them do it. Right? And I'm like, what? Why? It's because you need those individual personal experiences as a growth tool, right? It is super tough to make edit videos and do a really good job with it. And I've tried, and I'm not very good at these things. It's because I haven't spent any time doing it, frankly. But who cares? He's so good at this stuff. Like all the stuff that you see on this stream, it's all him. I've got very little to do with it. I mean, and he and I were talking about this stuff way back when. What is this? Buy a camera. This camera I think is $25. Right? I bought it secondhand for $25. It's got a microphone in it, but the microphone sucks ass. I actually have a blue microphone. Yeah, that I went out and bought. Oops. I haven't run any ads at all. I am so bad at this today. What is this here? Team Never Lucky. That's funny. Oh, Tonka. I know that guy. Oh, I've seen him, I guess. That's a better statement. Do things because it benefits you, right? Like I think at the end of the day, like at an elementary level, humans are part of the animal kingdom, right? I mean, this is Homo sapiens. That's what's it called? Genus and classification, I think is the terms for it. I didn't take biology I've taken one biology course in university. I was not a biology guy in school. I was a physics and a chemistry guy, not a biology. I was told biology was easier of the three, and I should have taken that. But in hindsight, I probably should have. Anyway, but there's 7, right? Class and genus and on and on and on. A bunch of different things. Of which, again, I didn't know those things. All right, so Homo sapiens, as an animal instinct, as animals, we are selfish individuals, just like other animals. We eat to our fill, and then whatever's left over, then we share with, right? We drink to our fill, and then whatever's left, then we share with. Right? We fill up our emotional cups until it's overflowing, and then we give. Right? I think that's really the kicker here, Hiskar. I believe that your emotional cup runneth over, and it gives you pleasure. It satisfies your needs, wants, desires to feel like you're giving. That's the person that you are. But it's not that you know that it helps. We talked a little bit about going to school and being like a divorce counselor or helping people through divorce, helping like marriage counseling specifically. It's easy to tell people how to fix it, right? Because we have no emotional attachment. That's why your psychiatrist, your therapist, or whatever doesn't get involved, right, with their patients. That's why there's an ethical issue to that. It's easy because you stand back to see there's a problem here, and this is how you fix it. But if they choose not to do that, and that's not what therapists do anyway, that's on them. Therapists actually work through and show patterns of behavior, right? Compare and contrast. They say this, and they show you that your behavior is doing this, and this, whatever this is a negative result of. So why don't you do this, which would potentially show a pattern of positive behavior, positive outcome. That's what therapists do, right? But just saying, like, wanting to help people is great, and you should want to help people but we get something out of it, right? Because we're selfish. It strokes our ego to do that. On the left screen here, I have my 3 tournaments that are going on, and on the right side, I have my software. So I'm kind of looking all over the place a little bit. What is this? I have a hard time doing something just to benefit me. Well, I mean, you can chalk it up however you want, right? But that's what happens. That's what we do, right? It's just speak to people in a language that they understand, not a language that you understand. You have to continue approaching a problem over and over and over again until you find the way that they go, oh, that makes sense. How about this? I live in a condo. I live in an apartment building. This is Frost Mage and I. We have a condo board. Our condo board comes up, like politicians, come up with a bunch of different things that they do, decide to do, and they make the decision to spend money on different things. One of the things they spend money on, how about this? We have a garage door, We have underground parking. We have a garage door. In an effort for safety, the original board, because we've been here, Mrs. Frostmage and I have lived in this building where we are at for about 10 years now. The original board, the first board, put in a sign. You put your fob in there, the door opens up. They want you to drive in and wait till the door closes. And it says, for safety and security, wait for the door to close. I appreciate that. That sounds reasonable. But they saw that no one was doing that. And so the very best effort that they did is to spend more money and put another sign up about 20 feet beyond that. Big sign, stop and wait for the door to close for safety and security. And you drive, you don't even have to drive 10 feet. You can still see the sign 10 feet away. So it's sign saying, did you wait for the door? Wait for the door for safety and security. Motion cup overflows. Yeah, emotional cup. Yeah, that's what's happening. Right? This is why you have that sensation. I believe this is why you're having that sensation, wanting to help, because your emotional cup overfloweth. So the board, like the very best thing to do is put 2 signs up there. Now I've asked the board several times. In our building, there's lots of elderly people. There's a young woman. There's 5 buildings in our complex. In my complex, there's a young woman that lives upstairs. She's about 5'4". We're going to chunk it all in here. This is a big hand. I raised, he jammed. And then I called it off. This is a big hand here. Nice hand. So he hits a 3 outer, but he's behind, right? But nothing. I would never change that. Anything on that. So the older people that are in the building, as well as the younger woman that I'm thinking of specifically upstairs from where we live. So those people. My question to the board is this: what would you like them to do for safety and security? What would you like them to do? Do you think that they should get out of their vehicle and have a confrontation with the person that has tailgated them in? That's what it is. So you open the garage door and they come in right behind you. Are you suggesting that they get out and challenge them? Hey, you're not allowed to come in here. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. And that's a legit question, right? Like, if you want to, the crowd wants to answer, then feel free to weigh in on it. But my question to the board is, like, what do you want them to do? If they're really concerned about safety and security, wouldn't the police services in whatever city, state that you live in, wouldn't they advocate saying, don't confront them, call us. That's what we get paid to do. Call us and we will come out. Isn't that like really the choice? So if the board is having this action and the local authorities, the policing services say a different action, which one do you think is the right way to go? Right? You have to speak to the board in a way that they understand. I'm going to get out of the way of this. This is, I'm 10th out of 18 here. I also have the same thing. A jack. Sorry. It's awesome. This guy is, I love that. Love it. 8 make it here. I don't believe that that's true. I don't believe that, so back to the door. I don't believe that confronting the person that is, has tailgated you in on the door is the right thing to do. So then to that end, the neighbors, they think that the very best thing to do is when they follow up behind you, because they wait for the door to close and then come back up. And then they actually followed me down to my parking spot. They said, you know, you're supposed to wait for the door to close. I'm like, 2 questions. What do you think's going to happen here? We're in an underground parking lot. There's no cell reception down here because it's concrete, obviously. Let me ask you this, to the person. Bad people are bad people for a reason. You're now out of your car and you're going to confront it. What do you think the bad person is going to do to you while you're trying to call the police? They're going to come over there and beat you with a tire iron. You think do you think it's worth it at this point? If you're really concerned about safety and security, call the police. Call the policing services. Don't get out of your car. Don't confront them. And the very best thing now, because I'm not the bad person, the very best thing you can do is to come bitch and moan at your neighbors because they didn't do it. There's no safety and security there, right? So the illusion of what they're trying to do doesn't match up with the reality. That's it. So I get super frustrated with the board and politicians when they come up with all these different policies that don't actually do the things that they think it's going to do. What's that got to do with anything? I'm fairly sure that, like, if I wasn't streaming poker, I would still be playing poker, right? I love it. I love playing poker. I play poker every single day. Because why wouldn't I play poker every single day? Right? And I talk about poker, and I have these books, these 3 books that are here. I talk about the same sort of things over and over and over again. What was it over here? I'm away from my table. This one over here, right? I raised, he re-raised. I know now that I have to hit here. Like, even without it, so as he raised me, I knew I had to hit. But when this guy jams check raises, there's no way I have way more outs than that. So again, he's got 10-3 and he's got ace 10. So he can't hit a 10, right? Like, do you see how that is? If he has a 10 and he has a 10, his ace is playing. He can only win if he hits the 3. That's it. That's all that guy had. Now his hand against my hand, he does have, right? He can't hit. He can't hit a spade. So of those spades, he just needs to not hit. We're gonna get in this one, right? I actually am the one that has to hit at this point. But before he gets to that, when he check raises all in, where are you gonna go with it? I'll get out of the way of that one. So there's 9 spades, 3, 6, 9, right? And then we both have spades, so he take 2 out of that. As it turns out, once he calls it, this is all the outs I have, and he has the rest of the deck, right? So I'm in the one that's in the rough spot. But because of who he is, there's no way that he's going to do that or have that. Check raise all in. No, he doesn't have that either, right? He doesn't have this ace here, but I cannot call that off, which is important. So I just get frustrated at these idiotic policies that our politicians and elected officials do at all sorts of levels. When I was in university, one of my professors said, the reason why university politics is so difficult, it's so tough, is because there's so little at stake. I was going to run for oh, that's it. Nice hand. I was going to run for office in university. My university professor said that, like, there's so little at stake. Why? There's a reason to do it, and go for it. You should. There's so little. You're going to make so little change. Over the years, I went to university for about 10 years, part-time and full-time, family life and all the rest of that stuff. In that 10 years, I guess for the first 5 years, 6 years, they used to protest. The student body got together and shut down the intersection. Did I rebuy into this tournament? Where's my thingy here? Oh, can't do that one. Oh, there it is. That's why. I am in this tournament. It just was hidden under my other thingy. There it is. They would protest and shut down the intersection for a higher for tuition cap, but it never went down once. Like in the again, they protested for 10 years. Yeah, they protested for 10 years, and they never went down one time. So that means that what you're doing doesn't work. So in 4 years of university, because that would have been 2.5. Well, no, because I was going to say different, but 2.5 rotations of university kids. Went through the cycle. The first year kid would have saw that protest was there. Nothing happened. The fourth year they got in there, but in the meantime, the next kid comes along. Nothing happened, right? So why are you doing the same thing over and over and over again if nothing changes? Check it out over here. Josh Manley is on my table, by the way. He's got a king. I haven't seen him having a king there. I'll leave. Call. Yeah. Oh, he's got a 5. Oh, that's even better. Look at that hand. That's even better. He has to go run a runner. Now this is what happens. He backs into it. That's what you would expect to happen there. It's not that he called without it. I think I'm out on that one. I'm not going to rebuy in this one. I've only got the 2 tournaments going on now. Yes, I think you should make that video. If you want to do that, you should make that video for sure. Do it because you want to do that. And so that's the second part of logic. Right? Arguments are made of premises and conclusions. Premises and conclusion. 2 premises. I think it's 2 premises. No, maybe it's actually just 1. I say premise, conclusion. But just because you have a premise, conclusion doesn't mean it's correct. That's something else. And then you have the second piece, which is necessary and sufficient. Is it necessary to be raining outside for you to get wet? No. It is necessary to have humidity in the air for you to get wet, right? It could be a tsunami. It's not raining, you're gonna get wet, especially if you're in the zone. You go to Disney World, if you're sitting in the splash zone, it's not raining outside, but you're gonna get wet. Four outs. Yeah, that'll work. Thanks, buddy. This fishy guy over here. Right? So sufficient and necessary. It's important to know the distinction between those 2 things. But that's a little bit further down the pathway. Premise, conclusion. All dogs are mammals. All men are mammals. Premise, conclusion. All men are dogs. That's a true premise, false conclusion. Right? All ravens are black. That's also another, that's a classic philosophical discussion in philosophy. Have you ever seen a black raven? No. That doesn't mean that there aren't any black ravens. That just means that you haven't seen one. So it's not necessary that all ravens are black. It is sufficient to say, it's more than likely that most ravens are black, right? Evidence. So and then the second side part is in the history, in this, at least in modern philosophy, logic, science has never proven anything, like ever. in the history of mankind, never once has science proven one thing, ever. Like ever. but we believe, it hasn't. Scientists say with 99.9% certainty that this is true. That's what scientists do. And scientists know the difference between those two things. Right? There's a classic Bill Nye the Science Guy versus a reverend, a theology guy. And it's a really good YouTube. But the kickers at the very end, they ask the minister, what would you need to have for you to change your position that there wasn't a God? And he says nothing would prove to me that there isn't a God. And they ask Bill Nye the same but reverse question, what evidence would you need to prove that there is a God? And Bill Nye says, just one piece of evidence, just one thing to prove that there's a God, and I'm in. That's all it would take for me. But the first guy, the minister, was so adamant that there's nothing that's going to prove to that. And Bill Nye says the opposite. I just need one piece of evidence, just one thing to prove that there's a God, and I'm in. Right? That's genius. That's awesome. I got nothing over here. Josh Manley's on this table, by the way, and I have Josh Manley up in my screen. Go check him out. I think I've given him a shout out. Give me one moment here, Mr. Poker, Champagne Poker. I will go get that in just a moment. I don't make the rules. If you lurk in my channel and you watch the channel, you earn drink tickets at the bottom. And you can spend your channel points on different things. One of which is Sound of the Weekend. So I will get to that in just one moment. It's huge. 11 out of 14 on this. I'm going to have to open up another table because there should just be 2 tables at this point. 2, 4, 6, 7, 14. So 2 tables. We need to get down to 8. 8 players remain. Ace jacks are always like, the problem with these type of hands is while you hit here, people play ace jack. And ace jack is not a very good hand. King 10 over on this one. Just get out of the way. Right, and look, speak about ace jack. Now it's bad. Right, so now this guy's on a club draw. This guy has, or this guy's on club draw. He has a jack. He's got a better jack. People play king jacks. But he only raised a 2, so it's probably not that. This guy is calling along. I mean, I'm swing and a miss on all of this. Just gonna have to get out of the way. If someone bets, it's just an easy fold here. But he probably should lead for 4. Oh, there's the 4. Right? So same thing. This guy called off for a gut shot. Let's see what this guy has here. Right? And you just apply a logic to these things. Queen 3 suited. What the deuce? Torelli, hand reading. Right? Does that make any sense that he has that? This guy tried and he just gave up, and that's terrible. Terrible. But I couldn't go anywhere elsewhere. I'm trying to make it into this ticket. Right back. Finished my coffee, by the way. All right. So channel points. This is what you get for hanging out and redeeming points. Look, right below my picture, you see my ad. There's an ad for PBR. You know what sound that is? It's the sound of the weekend. Let me, I don't know if I have it here. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I was just looking for the book. I was just looking for my book. 3. 2000. It's this one here. So the question is, why are you not playing just the top 10? So when you're starting off in your journey, as an athlete, and I use that term very loosely, as an athlete, you don't just decide to run the marathon. Like tomorrow I'm going to run a marathon. You just don't do that. What you do is train to run a marathon. Rather, Phil's recommended. Yeah, there it is. Yes, that's it. That's exactly right. So when you're just starting to run a marathon, you train for it. So I have completed 2,100 push-ups, 2,100 sit-ups, and 4,200 leg flutters. Leg flutters look like a swimmer kick. And the reason for doing that is because I'm training for a triathlon later this summer. August sometime is supposed to be when my race is. At least that's the race I want to run into. This could be all in here. We need a good flop here. I'm 12th out of 14 with 30 bigs. That's a good flop. We're going to just chunk it all in here. We have ace and we have a king. Put some pressure on here. And so in order to do that, I have a running coach, right? From way back when. So we went out, and over the weekend he says, he asked me to train for this 5K with him. I said, how long is the race? Like, when is the race? Oh, it's in 51 weeks. I said, dude, I am not fucking training for 51 weeks for a 5K. There is zero chance I'm doing it. And he just kind of looked at me and said, what? Yeah. So this was on a Friday he asked me to do this. On the Saturday, I went out behind my house here along the river and ran the 5K. It was 4.4K, I think. And I did it in about 32 minutes. Right? I haven't worked out in more than 10 years. 3 would have taken that down. I haven't run more than 10 years, and I still did it in about 32 minutes, right? So then I started training with them, and I took that 32 minutes down to 28 or something. So I took like 4.5 minutes off. My first race, here's the 3 races I've run. So this is my 5K bum run. That's what it's called. It's raising money for cancer. I just about fucking died on this thing. And I trained for 3 days to run this race. And it was 1.5 kilometers, so about a mile uphill the whole way. I just about died. I ran the 5K in 32 minutes, 28 seconds, right there. I put it down. 32 minutes, 28 seconds. The second 5K I ran, here it is 29 minutes and 49 seconds. So between these two, and there's only about a couple weeks between these two, 32 minutes, so that's 2 minutes 35 seconds. I took time off in this race. As it turns out, I came first in my division. In the men's division, I came first in the men's division in my age category, and I came second overall. A woman beat me, right? And there was some reasons why that is, and some training issues. So I adopted those training issues to adjust. And then in preparation for my triathlon, because the triathlon I'm running is a 10K. This is the first time I've run a 10K race. Unofficially, I did this race in 1:01:23. Officially, to their records, it's 1:08. And the reason is because I didn't know how to read the instructions. I went this way, and the race went, it turned this way, and I went straight. So I kept running for 500 meters, which is like 1/4 mile, somewhere like that range, down the road. Looked around, there's no one here. There's not one person I'm running with. Fuck, I ran the wrong way. Had to turn around, run back, and then get back on the race. So I ran an extra kilometer. as well as I took a full minute to go, and I was so mad. And I was so mad at myself. Tilt, right? I was tilted. But I have to get your head in there. Shut the front door. Very, very, you. That's a thing that Mrs. Frostmage and I do. When we see the very, very, or she's watching TV, we take a drink. Now I'm just going to do it for you. This doesn't count because you're trying to bait it. You're trying to goad it. But I'm going to give it to you because I love it. So you train for a triathlon, you train for a race, you don't just wake up and run it. That's not how that works. That's not what you do. That's not going to work. So you have to train for it. All right, back to the question. Why can I ask you why you are sticking to Phil Hellmuth? Because that's who it is. Phil Hellmuth's playing just the top 10 hands. Aces, kings, queens, jacks, 10s, 9s, 8s, 7s, ace, king, ace, queen. Those are the top 10 hands. Phil Hellmuth says that in his book. Now, he wrote that book for people that are in different levels of their learning journey. As an athlete, when I was in junior high, I took a wrestling through course. Never wrestled before. Nothing. Took the course, so it was like 3 weeks or 2 weeks of wrestling, whatever it is, and I did it a little bit better this way. Then I went to high school, and I actually had a coach, and this is what we did, but now it's focus. And you spike, and then you reach a plateau in high school. And then you go to university, and you spike, and you reach a plateau. And you continue on after university to the top. These are the people that go to the Olympics. You spike it up, and then that's usually where you're at, is the Olympics. Those 10 hands that I told you, you should play those hands. Because you're starting off in your journey. You and I are very different levels. From the running coach perspective, someone that runs marathons already, saying this is like a training program, but run this, right? Run just like a 2K. Start with a 2K and see how you do, right? Champagne Poker has some injury. And during the break, he's doing jumping jacks, doing some sit-ups, doing some push-ups. I'm advocating for just start action. Just start. Just move. Just start moving. Doesn't matter how little it is. Right? It doesn't matter. Just start. I was doing push-ups, sit-ups, and exercises at a friend's place the last Thursday, and with Mrs. Frostmage and I were there. She looks over and says, "You're cheating." Because I was about this far off of the ground, probably about that far off of the ground in my push-ups. And she corrected herself, and I turned and looked at her, and I was, right? I said, can you show me how to do it? And she said, you know what, I take that back. The reality is you may be cheating by not going all the way down, but the fact is you're still doing it. So she recognized it herself and said something. And that's exactly right. Just start. Just get in there. Just do it. Those 10 hands, it's a good place to start. But if you're going to, it's not if, when you deviate from those 10 poker hands, those starting 10 poker hands, you have to be doing it with a reason. And you have to know why that reason is. If you don't know the why, you're not learning. Back to the poker books. You can read a poker book all you want. You can have your coach tell you, do this, but don't do this. But if you don't understand the why, you're not learning. The adage, teach a man to fish, he eats. Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he lives forever, or he feeds himself. Right? I can tell you how to do. I can tell you what to do, but unless you learn that yourself, you're going to be destined to repeat the same thing. You want to go to school and help people in terms of therapy. Therapists don't tell, this is the problem, this is what you need to do to fix it. That's not what therapists do. Therapists show the pattern of behavior, lead you holding your hand along the path until you go, oh my God, that's such destructive behavior. I got to change that. Yes, that's what therapists do. And it's difficult because we get emotionally involved. but that's exactly what therapists do. Poker coaches are doing the same thing. The reason why ace 5, or let's pick this hand right here, the reason why ace 5 suited from raising that position is so bad is because you have 3 outs versus someone else's ace king who's not going to fold. You only have 3 outs. In terms of poker, if the guy dropped his cards in front of you and you had perfect information, would you change your behavior? Would you fold your hand? If I have pocket kings and this guy dropped his cards and if I have pocket kings over here and this guy had pocket aces, of course I would fold my hand. Be right back. Of course you would fold your hand. But if he has pocket queens, I would never fold my hand. Because I know that he has that many. That's 2. He has 2 outs. He can only win if he hits the 2 outer. And it doesn't matter what pocket pair it is. So it's just the other 2. Pocket aces versus not pocket aces. Pocket 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s. He only has 2 outs. The flop may come something else, but he has to hit to win at that point. He needs some sort of straight draw or flush draw, and that's how he's going to get it. If he doesn't hit those things, he's done. So this guy over here, when he called with that 10-3, that's exactly it. He's in a world of hurt. He doesn't know what he's... Champagne Poker says, I obviously didn't do my workout yesterday, waiting for them to come back today to finish their end off. Are you saying the very because of? Yes, exactly. You don't get it on that. Don't encourage that bad behavior. Fucking guys. Champagne, I love you, buddy. Cheers. Cheers. All right, so I did tell Mrs. Frostmage a couple weeks back that I started streaming at 9 o'clock, and you redeemed a beer at 9:22 in the morning. That was not good. Don't tell her that. I am not going to tell her I cracked a beer at 10:30 this morning. The uptick is that I did finish my coffee, so. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I did not open up this table here. Again, there's only 2 tables on this one, so we're going to watch that for a minute. You know what I'm going to do, though? I am going to actually take a really quick break. I'll be right back. I'm just going to hit the sit out for... Oops, not that one. What am I looking for here? The sit out button. I'm going to sit away. And I'm going to sit away. I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Right back.
I played poker
All right. Okay, so champagne poker. You're talking about the city, right? You're talking about the sewage thing. Yeah, yeah. Like I'm pretty sure that's exactly what that was. Yeah, it's tough. I'm told. Yeah, exactly. No, I know. Oh, I know exactly what's happening there. Uh, and I'm not gonna lie. Even though it's 10:30 in the morning, I actually needed that for sure. Uh, Saturday night was a late night. Oh, you can see. Can you see? Yeah, there's my bottle of scotch got going on there. Look at my big bottle of scotch, Johnny Walker Black. This is a 1.75 liter. Yeah, 1.75 liter scotch. Look at how much I've had there. Deliciousness. Uh, this is a. Oops. I only have like 2 ounces, 3 ounces of Lagavulin. This is my most expensive bottle of scotch. It's a 16-year single malt, Islay single malt. It's about 110 bucks. I got it over from. I'm gonna be all in over here. I got it from Superstore, and I asked him about it. And he says, "Do you have this?" He says, "Yeah, it's a good bottle of scotch. You keep it in the back." So he went and got it. Before I could interrupt him, he just said, "I'll be right back over." It's in the back again. So I felt obligated to buy it, which I did. But this is so good. This is like chef's kiss. Now I like a super peaty scotch. That's it. It's awesome. What's this one over here? This is a Scotch Tomatin. This is a single malt Scotch, but they use a bourbon in a sherry cask. This is a birthday Scotch. This is a little bit lighter, a little bit smoother than the other one. I like to start off with this baby Scotch, as it were, and then finish my net off with that Lagavulin. Just kind of, it's so good. And I got another one over here. This is a baby Scotch as well. This is a Singleton single malt Scotch. It's 12-year-old. This is like an entry level Scotch. I don't know. I think this was given as a gift as well by someone that doesn't know Scotch is, I guess, right? And that's okay because my friends are my friends for a reason. Anyway, excuse me. All right, so. Mrs. Frostmage cracks me up. Yeah, kicker issue over here. So I was up. Like I usually go to bed. Like even for me, midnight is still late. Mrs. Frostmage and I try to go to bed earlier. She goes to bed way earlier than I do. But I come to bed and I start watching a television show on my phone or a movie or something like that, and then just shut everything off and go to sleep. Didn't happen on Saturday. Ended up running a World of Warcraft in a raid with some other friends that they're called the Insomniacs. They stay up late at night to finish and do and run. So I started staying with them. Stayed up with them. Had a couple beers, and it's midnight. It's late night, so I cracked a scotch. And once scotches are just so good. Once you have one, it's just so good. So I went to bed at 3:00 in the morning, and I had to work at 8:30 because I play poker in the morning, right? I had the worst freaking hangover. It was so bad. It was rough. I got up, played my big tournament yesterday, that $10,000 buy-in tournament. It was not good. Oh, sit over here. Or sorry, flush over flush. Flush over flush. And I was out in about the 8th hand. It was just my pocket pair versus their hand. And they hit and I didn't. Best cure for a hangover is a cold beer for breakfast. Yeah, this is why I said I'm okay with that. All right, so what do we do with this? Like, I'm fairly sure I'm ahead here. At least of this. Maybe not so much this one, but this this is where you have to have the wherewithal to fold. And the reason being, okay, so his guy when you're back, this is a top 10 hand. Aces, kings, queens, jack, tens. And I'm still folding this. I'm 8 out of 13. Chip preservation is everything here, right? You don't have to finish first, right? This tournament is 8 players make the money. You don't have to finish first. What you have to finish is in the money. Whether you're first or 8th, the prize is all the same. So if there's ever a case to be made for folding pocket aces, arguably the best hand ever in poker, this is one of those times. This guy is the chip leader. This guy is in 3rd place. There's no reason to go up against this guy. If I was this guy, I would sit out the rest of the day. I would hit the sit out button and just go have a beer. Because he doesn't need to double this guy up with his pocket twos. Right? He's got a lot of chips. So I get it, I understand that. But he doesn't have to do that. Because if he finishes in 7th place, so what? And he never plays another hand. Right? Yeah, but he can help put a knockout and do. I get that. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, there we go. He doesn't need to take that risk. This guy here, he has to take that risk now because he only had like 4 bigs. So he doubles up twice. Once through this guy and once through this guy. And now he's back up to 20 bigs. Right? You didn't get up until 9 today as you were up until 3 a.m. Yeah. This is the same sort of thing, right? This is actually just a folding hand. Let these 2 guys have the pissing contest. Or this guy get involved. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not hungover, but yesterday was a bit of a rough day for sure. Cheers, champagne. So this guy's just giving away chips, just a little bit at a time. This guy's still in 3rd place. I'm currently 8th out of 11th, as I said. 8 make the money. That's all it is about making it into the money. Let me take a look because I may have to just change my strategy here real quick because, yeah, whatever chips you have here, it's taken into the next one. So you kind of want to have a big stack. I like this one better though. Anyway, okay, let's come back over here. Oops. Did I don't know if I've got to be in here for 3, right? Open lobby, find me. I think I'm in. Yeah, I'm in for 3. I forgot to update those. The other one was in for 2. I'm still in for 1 bullet on this one. Yeah, so I've 2, 5, played 6 tournaments already today. My sheet anywhere close to that? There we go. Just off by 1. So it's pretty close. Josh Manley ripping it up over there. As I said, he is playing on. He is in this tournament. So this is one of the plays that we did in limit was we would check our shitty pair. Right? We have an ace with a shitty pair, and then on the turn when they don't bet it, then we would bet our shitty pair because we end up trapping them in with their second pair. So it's that still works, right? We got ace at this other table. We got queen 4 versus ace jack, ace on the flop. So the losing guy, the guy at the very bottom, he gets a full double up. because Jussie in this one, the number 2 chip stack, wants to double up and call it off with queen 4 for 7 bigs. That's he's got to make it into the money here. I get we're trying to have some hands, but you think queen 4 is the very best you can get to? I don't know. We're gonna have to call this at least for one. Still got 55 minutes left in this tournament. 53 minutes. Boom. Yay! So we're going to get a bunch of chips here because we took a gamble on it. They both have Jack 10, Jack 10. So again, if he dropped the cards and you could see what he had, would you change anything? Right? I believe a better play here. So here you go, Hisgar. This is elevated thinking. Right? I believe a better play here. There's nothing wrong with the bet. Right? He bet to 3. This guy raised to 3, and I called it. He doesn't have to jam in, right? If he wants, he could raise again. And probably should, but you don't go all in. Very rarely is going all in the right choice, right? Tilting over here. He hit, right? He's got 6 outs, so here's that analogy I just had again. There's 6 outs. The pocket nines has the rest of the deck. 6 outs, rest of the deck, right? Because when you go into cardplayer.com/calculator, or just type it in the Google search engine, Card Player Magazine, you'll find the calculator there. When you type all those in, all the numbers in there, all those different hands, yes, these 2 guys are ahead, and I only have 9 outs to hit. Do these guys have a heart? I think one guy had a heart there. Let's see. So it just drops it down by 1. Yeah, neither guy actually had a heart. So I have a full 9 outs. But if the heart doesn't come on the turn, that's where you want to pounce, right? Because their odds go so far down. They have to pick up additional equity. Now you give up a little bit of equity by letting them in there for cheap, but they, all their shit drops quickly. This is 7-3 again. Schnikey. I just said don't do this, but I have to because I only have 50 notes. It's different over here. Giggity giggity. And we're out of that tournament, right? At 11. I didn't have to take that risk, but I still did it, and he happened to hit the deuce. So it just is what it is, right? Schnikey. That's a rough spot. I just folded, but I got no chips, so. All right. This is what it is. A better play would have been to not do that, but had to take a risk on it. Just like in this one, I took a risk and was rewarded, and that other one took a risk and I was not rewarded. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Go get some exercises. Go do some jumping jacks, push-ups. Back in 5 minutes. Right back. All right, back at it. Whew. Whew. When you say outs, you mean he needs to hit those 6 outs? No, he does not have to hit those 6 outs. What he has to hit is, no, he has to hit some of those, some combination of those. So outs is your hand versus his hand. I guess the first thing about poker is to know what hands beat what hands, right? Bottom to the top, it's a high card. So I have 2 cards, you have 2 cards. Whoever has the highest card is going to win. And then there's 5 communal cards. So it's entirely possible that you split up the pot because those 5 cards that are there, you have your cards, your 2 cards, your 2 cards, and then the 5 communal cards are all higher than your 2 cards. Right? It's possible that happens. Next is 1 pair. Again, if there's a pair on board, this guy doesn't have a pair, he's got his 2 cards. I don't have a pair, he's got his 2 cards. There's a pair on board. Now you're back to who has a high card. If I have an ace king and you have an ace 3, we both have an ace. So those negate each other out. So now it's just my high card versus your high card. The person with the higher card has more outs because the guy with the lower card, he can only hit. Here's a three of diamonds, by the way. If you have the 3 of diamonds, you can only hit one of the 3 other 3s to win. You have all those other cards that's not a 3 to win. Right? That's what it is. He has 3 outs to hit because he can only win if he hits the 3 outer. Right? If you have a flush, if you have two hearts in your hand and there's 2 hearts on board, we know that there are 13 hearts in the deck. There's 2 in my hand. There's two more that are on the board. 13 minus 4 is 9. There's 9 cards right there. He has to hit the flush to win. You have the other 42. Let's see, there's 4 on there, right? 4, 5, 6. So 46, 48, and then less than 9, 48. So he's got 9 outs. You have 39 outs, right? That's what it's meant by outs. How many cards does he have to hit? How many cards can he hit to win? If I have pocket aces and you have pocket 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, jacks, kings, queens, any of those pocket pairs, I have 2 aces, you have 2 other pairs. We know that the aces is an 80-20, 80% favorite to win, which means aces lose 20% of the time. The only way you hit when you have a lower pocket pair is to hit one of those 2 cards. You pick any pocket pair you want, that's lower than the other person's pocket pair, that's how many outs you have. You have some sort of combination of hitting a straight or a flush, but that's outside. Oh, what the hell is going on over here? Inventory is full. Oh, that's not good. So that's some sort of combination of that hand. That's what I'm trying to say. So no, you don't have to hit all 6. You just have to hit some combination of that. And the more outs you have, the better it is for you. So when you come back to Helmuth and he's talking about playing just those top 10 hands, that's a sound strategy and you should do that. But just playing those top 10 hands does not give you a lot of hands to play. It is difficult because there's not a lot of hands to do that, right? You just don't have enough to do that. You sit around and fold a lot. And then as you saw in that last little bit there, the guy called down with, he called his pocket 2s and the other guy's pocket jacks. He didn't need to do that. He didn't need to call pocket 2s at all. Okay? Because this book right here, oh, we seized up again? No, we didn't. This book right here, page 23, says, where's 23? When you have a pocket pair of deuces, and it's deuces, 3s, 4s, by the way, there's an 87 to 88% chance. Let's throw 5s in there as well, because 5s is 87%, 4s is 88, 2s and 3s are 88.23 and 0.22. Right, so it's close enough. Those are how many outs that you have. Call off here. Not full in here, so he's got to call. He's got to have a jack here. So the 2s are so far behind because there's always going to be an overcard, right? There's always an overcard when you have pocket 2s. 3s, it could come. 3s, yeah, 3s is not always because it could come 3 2s, right? But when you have 4s. Now it's just going up, right? It's entirely possible that there isn't cards. But if you have a pocket pair versus pocket pair, you have 3 2s on the board and you have pocket 3s in your hand. There's 3 2s on the board and the other guy has pocket aces. You're still down to 2 outs. It could go runner. No, I can't go runner when there's 3 on there. What's happening over here? So something's all kind of screwed up. Okay, there we go. Right, so just as an example, on here, there's what's called master classes. I don't participate in those. I don't buy any memberships to it, but it's important. The first comment. Daniel Negreanu is one of the greatest poker players on the planet. He says in his opening portion of the masterclass, here's the thing: everything you do at the poker table conveys information. You can't be sitting there watching TV, eating a sandwich, being all willy-nilly, right? And that kind of cuts off because we all kind of click. But we mock those in the poker world that play a lot of poker. We know this, and when people say that, we all know exactly what's being said, and we laugh about it because it's funny. So someone that's observing your statement there can make an assumption about who you are and what you know about poker. That book right there, right? The fact that you're asking, what are outs? And assuming you're not trolling, right? Let's take a look what the outs are on this one. I think it tells you exactly what the tells are. Weak means strong, strong means weak, encouraging your bet, conflicting tells, gaining information, directed, glancing at chips. There's somewhere on here, I don't know the exact tell on here. Oh, the sound of tells, that's important. There is a, you're making an assessment, you're making a judgment about the person that's playing across from you, right? A guy that shows up wearing a suit plays very differently than a guy that wears a ball cap, has a big headphones, just like I'm wearing, puts on sunglasses, has a backpack, is wearing sweats, right? It's a very different tell, and you go, But you giving a judgment. The part of being better is learning to take those judgments with a grain of salt, because we play lots and we know. You asking, what does it mean by 10 outs? That's someone that's playing against you. When you ask some of those things at a poker table, will go, oh, that guy doesn't know what's going on. For example, usually in one of these deck of cards, when you buy the deck, it comes with, especially if you buy a poker deck, it'll come with a card that has the list of poker hand rankings. I used to take that card to the poker table and put it down in front of me and look at it from time to time, and people would go, "What's going on here?" And what's up with that? I just want to make sure I got the hand ranking right. It says, yes, but you ripped up $700 yesterday. Why do you need that thing? Once they call you out on that, the gig is up. You can't feign that you don't know what's going on by having a card here because I ripped up the table before. It could have just fluked out. That doesn't usually happen. Right? You're making judgments. You're making pieces. You ask people. Right? Mrs. Frostmage and I were playing over here at Deerfoot in Casino. One of the bigger tournaments that we'd ever bought into.
A lot of success calling half pot over the years, so. Down here we opened and folded, I don't know if anyone cares, but we did.
I'm going to turn Easty down. I want to see if Easty's playing in this tournament as well, because Easty is another poker player. I think he was playing that other tournament that I went out on. Anyway, and she was asking questions. Oh, how you guys doing? How's the day? It's a wonderful day to be playing cards, and yeah, you guys play a lot of cards. I've never seen you around before. I said, no, we don't play cards much, just on the weekends. We're Rex, recreationals, right? Rex. But we even know the language, so she now has some understanding that we're not schleps, but we're not good either, right? Because we don't play, right? We have a job, so we want to have a good time. So, oops. So in terms of this, right, he says in here, you want to encourage people to have a good time. People that are having a good time, they don't mind losing their money. But when you call them out, when they hit, you have pocket aces, they have pocket twos, and they hit their two, and you say, nice fucking hand. What are you doing that? Right? That doesn't make people feel good. You want them to, and this is why I say legitimately, you want to encourage that behavior. Oh my God. Oh, that's a nice hit. No, I had twos, and I have said this, and I use this line with some frequency. No, I had pocket twos the other day, and I hit the set right on the flop as well. That must be a lucky hand this week. Or it's just a lucky hand for me this week, or whatever the case may be. Something like that. You're just commiserating with them, sharing that it's okay that I lost. Yeah, it happens, and that you had the same sort of thing happen to you, right? You're encouraging that behavior. That's the sign of a good poker player. I think it is anyway. You want to encourage that behavior because you want that to happen over and over and over again. And I funnel thousands of dollars on that. So when I was saying a little while ago before, on the flop or pre-flop, like before the first three cards come out, we know that aces versus pocket twos, turns out, or pocket kings, because that's exactly what I just pulled there, pocket kings. Aces versus kings, pocket pair versus pocket pair. The kings are an 80% favorite versus the 20%. When the first three cards come out, and it's not one of the two cards, that's not the kings, the lower hand, lower pocket pair. Now it's like 85. Oh no, it's 90-20, I think. 90-10. 90-10. Meaning 90% favorite. They have 10%. on the turn, when they don't hit their 2 outs, now you're a 95% favorite and they have a 5% favorite. When you know the odds like that, Skolansky, wherever he is, when you know the odds on that, you don't feel bad. You shouldn't feel bad that they hit the 5 out, because you know that you're such a huge favorite that you want them to call. Right?
Guys, if something happens in the tournament, we will go over to it, but nothing's happening, so
We're gonna make a big raise here, right? So guys like me, so it's important that you learn these things. The first one is Caro. You got to learn this. This is the book that I use all the time. And then you have to learn Skolansky, which is mathematics. It doesn't have to necessarily be either one of those two guys, because tells are one part of it and math is the other part. And it's the marriage of those two things together. That's what makes it great. If you just focus on one, internet kids, these guys that play nothing on this and then they win a series, they win some sort of belt, win some sort of bracelet. They win some sort of package to go play against people that know what's going on. They're in trouble, because Negreanu studied this his whole life and less of Skolansky. And then over the about 6 or 7 years ago, Daniel Negreanu spent a lot of time learning the math of this. He already knew the math before, but he's learning this. So now he can beat these kids when they come into his arena, and he can beat them when he comes into their arena. Yeah, it's awesome. What do we got over here? We're still just going along here.
It's so fucking tilting.
Eastie cracks me up. So you can hear him say, I hope you can hear him, Queen X. So fucking annoying. So obviously he got a 3-outer. This is clearly tilting behavior that Eastie's on right now. Eastie 22 is the name, but I think he's part of, like I was playing another guy on my table, Eastie. And that was a different name.
Books for beginners. I haven't read any personally, so I can't really say.
What's this one here? Right? If we go back here, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Pocket Kings versus Pocket Jacks. This guy had 2 outs. He only wins if the Jack hits, and the Jack hits on the river. This guy should feel comfortable throwing it in. Now he doesn't, because you have Pocket Kings and there's an ace on board. So now it changes your play a little bit. And so Ace of Kings, Queen, Jack, 10s, 9, 7s, Ace King, Ace Queen. So if this guy was just playing Ace King, Ace Queen, which is the bottom, arguably different hands than those two. What is this? I'm going to fold this, by the way, because it doesn't fit that 10, but it's all in, all in. Now you have to show up with the best hand. You can't just fake your way through it. You have to show up. Right? 7 do. Oh, why? Well, he's all in. He didn't have too much there. But Pocket Queen, so this is a good fold here. Oh, Eastie, you crack me up, man. Oh, Rad Dad Poker's on. Haven't seen that guy forever. Turkey Day Poker Pie. Haven't seen that guy in weeks. I'm gonna go raid that guy. We got a little bit of love to Eastie here. He cracks me up, but he tilts and rips into people, and I think he's English, so his demeanor is slightly different than ours, Canadian and American. He just thinks it's okay to be a douche. And I think he is. I think he's a douchebag, but he thinks it's okay to do that. Eastie, I love you, right? I think you're funny. You crack me up. I don't approve of some of your methods. So just, if you're watching, I don't approve. And that's okay, because you're like, who the fuck is this guy? Exactly. That's exactly why you shouldn't care what I say. All right, let's come over to Rad Dad Poker. I want to see this guy.
Love it. That's when they play even better. Give it MC music yourself. I got you, Celtic. We'll change it up here in a little bit, Celtic.
Okay, there's Pocket Jacks. So here it is. Because of this book here, I used to jam pocket nines. I no longer jam pocket nines. So page 23, right? Page 23 says, because nines, when you jam nines, 69% of the time, there's going to be an overcard. And there's an overcard here, but I have a flush draw, right? So now this guy's drawing super thin. He only has one out at this point, right? No, he's two. Sorry, I misread the thing here. He's got fours. So he's still got these two outs. He's betting on the flush, but I have a jack of diamonds, so he can't hit that. I have pocket jacks. He's got pocket fours. He can only win if he hits the fours. If he had 4 hearts and a 4 spades, and he has a 4 diamonds, now he only has one out because he cannot hit the 4 diamonds because that gives me a flush. Right? Now he only has one out. That's beautiful. That's what you want. All right.
I'm new. I've been doing pretty good, you know. Life has attacked me a little bit, but yeah, I'm here. Trying to make things happen. How you been? It's been a while, huh?
All right. Rad Dad Poker's. Let me give him a shout out. I haven't seen this guy for some time, by the way. So I'm glad that he's okay. Go check that guy out. He and I have talked a little bit about poker as well, and I'm sure, like me, I make some questionable calls to people. I'm trying to share out loud what those questionable calls are and why they're questionable, and why you would call or play a shit hand like this. There's a reason why you play this shit hand. Right? If this guy makes any sort of bet, you kind of have to get out of the way, but now it's getting worse.
Dang it. You just got counterfeited. There's really no point in me betting now.
So timing tells are important, right? But I'm trying to give a different timing tell because I want the free card. I don't want him to bet. It wouldn't matter if he bet or not because I can't call off. But yeah, it's awesome. So his guard, this is a tacit thing in the background. Right?
I'm trying to get back on the streaming streets. Start streaming a little more consistently. I should have streamed last week. I had a pretty good run last week. I won like 4 tournaments. It was crazy. The best
Nice.
I've ever been on, probably. Well, it looks like this coming tournament. So. I have to prepare myself for a massive downswing that's coming.
Still ripping this up, right? This, as I said, this is the only tournament I've got going on right now. This is the only one I'm going to play in. This will be the last one for the day. I am currently 56 out of 595. There's 1,853 people that ran it, so I'm 57th of that. So many people's today. King Jack, probably gonna have to call this off, right? Probably gonna have to call this off. This is not a good hand, by the way. I don't recommend this. This is usually just a fold, but I want to put some pressure on these other guys. Yeah, so it shows up with the same hand, right? You see how loose that guy is calling
So
there.
it has to has to even out after
Right.
a while. So like every time I run really good for a little while, I'm like, oh man, when is this? It's got to stop and start going the other direction sometime.
Let's get this in here.
Winning
So
flips.
in the background, I have World of Warcraft playing, but I'm not actually playing it. I'm just I'm making food, right?
You gotta, realize it's not always going to be that way.
No, it's not. So Rad Dad obviously is a dad. He's a family man. He's got kids.
I'm glad you stopped by. And I just saw that like I'm at 45 followers now, so I only need 5 more followers, and I have 50. Kind of a milestone thing that Twitch
So that's pretty good. Sorry, I don't advocate for showing this card, by the way, but I did have a full house here, right? I could throw that up there, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to show information if I don't have to. I don't encourage that. It is steak sandwich day, so I got to take the steaks out. I think I'm going to check. Take steaks out of the freezer last night, put them in the fridge. I will have to put it on the counter here, probably about 4 o'clock. But I want to check to see if they're thawed first. Oh, I think I had 7 here, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, I just had 6. 6, okay. So with World of Warcraft playing in the background, I can, I'm just making food for his guard, less for everyone else. So I bet half pot here. I mean, the Ace Jack is certainly reasonable, but I expect Ace King, Ace Queen to have to jam pre-flop, right? So my Ace should be good. Same with this. I expect him to raise here. So when the Ace hits, I can still lead him.
Appreciate it, man.
I can make 1,000 of an item. In this case, pebbled rock salt. I take the pebbled rock salt, or the salt deposit with the conveniently packaged ingredients, use those 2 things and make 1,000. But I'm playing poker. It's just going on in the background. Just play, right? And then time will run out, or I'll run out of ingredients, and then I come to the other one, assorted exotic spices. It's got some couple of ingredients. You do the same thing, just run it through, playing poker, not really paying attention to it, and then get all the ingredients for the deviled eggs. Right? So I bought a shit ton of these things. Can I do my own stream while I watch you play? Yes, you can. And so. Hey, that's a great question, right? You're asking questions about poker. When you say "oh," does it mean this? Can I do my own stream while I watch you play? Yes, you can. We ask questions. So I encourage first, find out what Google says. Right? In the game, people used to ask all sorts of crazy questions, and now they just don't do it because our comment is, I don't know. That's a great question. What did Google say? It says, why are you being a dick? It says, because I want you to go look for the answer first before you ask us for the answer, because we're just enabling you to do it. Hey, anyone know where the closest McDonald's is to my house? Right? Why don't you just Google that shit and find out where the closest McDonald's is? Right? That's what you would do. So in terms of this, yes, that's a great question. If you don't know where to search, then you don't know. Quick story. When I first got my first big boy job, I worked with some university students. They had just graduated. Internet was just coming out, and I went to him and said, hey, I don't know about this. What do you think about this? And he looked at me and said, because I'm like 10 years older than he is. He says, that's a great question. Why don't we look up Google and see what Google says? I'm like, oh, that's great. I didn't know that. I came back a couple days later, and said, hey, I've got a question for you. I said, what about this? And he looked at me and said, that's a great question. Let's find out what Google says. And then I came back a couple days after that, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And Friday, I came up to him and said, I think I know what your answer is going to be, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I think your answer is going to be, let's see, that's a great question. Let's see what Google says. This is my question. He said, hey, that is a great question. Hey, let's go see what Google says. And I never went back to the guy after that. The piece is to find out what it is that you're trying to do. Like, where is you going? All right, so this is going to be a monster hand over here. This is not necessarily a monster hand. We're going to double this guy up. This guy should have a big hand. We're going to double this guy up. Right? Can you Twitch while you watch your own stream? Yes, you can go onto Google and say, just type in those keywords, Twitch, watch, and stream. And I'll tell you how to do it. All right? I'm going to help you out here. When you go to the top of the screen, where, let's see, I told you. Oh, look at that. 80-20, and I hit it right away. He's got 2 outs. That's not it. Oh, I did not expect him to have that good of a hand. I luck sucked for sure. Wowzers. When you click on my name, on the top you'll see Twitch. Twitch TV/Noob Frostmage. You see my name in there.
Very, very few.
At the top. Oh, fuck. This guy just gave a very, very. Rad Dad, you're killing me, man. You're killing me.
It's already too late for one of those scenarios to occur.
You want to hit mute in the tab. At the bottom of the page. What's this one over here? When you click on the tab, you'll see my name. You'll see my picture here. There's a black screen right now, I think. That's where the commercials are. You'll see the comments, and then you'll see the poker table. Underneath, like in the comments section, you'll see pause, you'll see volume, mute. Do not hit that mute button. And the reason being is because you want to give your viewers, your streamers, and the person that you're watching, you want the algorithm to recognize that you are watching, and they'll get credit for it. Right? So then you can open up a second window about yourself. So here it is. Look at this. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm winning this pot, right? If I just call it off, I'm winning this. But you see how bad that's behind here. He's got King Queen. He's got Queen Jack, King Jack. He only has 3 outs, so I have to avoid the 2 kings that are on there. I have to avoid the 3 jacks, and I have to avoid the 3 queens. Anything other than that, and I'm winning because I hit the board. I have a 4. My 4 is beating theirs. So that's how many outs I have to avoid. 8 outs, and this is how many cards I have to win. Okay. So yes, you can Twitch. I have 4 streams open at the moment. I only get credit for 3, one of which is actually mine. I feel Google takes away from the social aspect of aspect that comes with asking someone. That's correct. But back to the fisherman, right? Back to that fisherman analogy. What the hell? Oh, sorry, Champagne. Ooh. I was looking at something there and it has Sound of the Weekend twice. I'm like, what? Did you give another one and I missed it? Oh. Champagne poker. That would have been absolute travesty had I actually done that. So I feel like I owe you one because I totally misread that. Ooh, Mrs. Frostmage must have shaken that one up first. It does, right? But like the fisherman analogy, I think I told you in terms of World of Warcraft, my old guild, I got called into the office. The raid leader sat me down and said, hey, your damage is low and we need to work on it. And this is what you need to work on it. What is it you're doing? I said, well, this is what I'm doing to, well, he didn't actually ask me that. He says, Your damage is low, and you got to get your damage up. Are you doing this? Or doing this? Are you doing this? I said, hey, I'm actually doing all of those things. So here's that analogy that I gave earlier on, right? I'm reading the book, I'm reading the posts of how to be a better frost mage, but I'm missing some sort of connection, right? Champagne poker. You read, absorb books better. Your learning style is better by hearing or by listening to the audiobook rather than reading the book. I've got these 3 poker books at my desk, right? I can just read it, and without being able to talk to someone to help me understand what it is I'm reading, I'm just muddling through. So when my guy calls me in and says, you got to work on this, get good. How about that? Get good. Well, that does fuck all, doesn't it? That doesn't tell you how to get good. Just saying get good doesn't help you get good. So there has to be something else that's involved there, right? Me reading reading posts about how to be a better frost mage doesn't actually do it, because that's not how I learn. There's two styles of learning. I can tell you how to do it, I can show you how to do it, but probably a combination of the two. So I went to the dummy, pewed all everything. The person that so my guild leader said, go talk to someone in our guild, this person. He listened to the conversation, they helped me out. Within 3 minutes, my rotation improved. My damage almost doubled in the 3 minutes. The problem is that I was never given the opportunity to show that benefit to the raid, and it creates problems, right? Because it makes me feel like I bring nothing of value to the team. So I left the team, got kicked off basically, and that's okay, right? It's part of it. It's part of the game. This is where Hisgar, you and I connected. A couple weeks after that, my game improved. You and I connected, and my damage went up again. Right? You and I just were chatting, and you helped me with the. Oh, you're here. Help me out with the rotation.
I just have to keep going back.
No, you sell the eggs, man. Those devilishly deviled eggs. It's 21.54. That's huge. You want to sell that. This is why I'm making the eggs off stream. This is normally what I do when I'm playing. I have World of Warcraft in the background, and I just make eggs or food or whatever it is, right? And sell the stuff. But the eggs is pretty easy. Yeah, eggs are pretty easy because I just sit on the side. I've got 1,000 eggs in my bag, and I just put 600 on the auction house. 600 times 21.53. You can figure out the math. Less what my sunk costs are to make it. This is business, right? Ace King versus Queen Jack. Here we go. Here's the 4 outs. All right, so he's got 6 out. He's got the 3 queens. He's got the 3 jacks. I have Ace King. There's 2 diamonds on board. He's got 1 in his hand. For it to go runner, it's somewhere in around the 90% range to not do that. Actually, might be 4%. 4% for it to do that. Right? So on the surface of it, he's just got those 6 outs, and I've got the rest of the deck. He sees that flop. So now it's like, let's say 80-20 on the turn, because he gets another diamond in there. Now he has 9. Add 9 more. It's actually not, because let's add 9. Let's add 8 more. He's got 8 more outs. 8, 10. Now on the turn, he's got 14 outs. I still have the rest of the deck, right? But that's part of the poker that you have to adjust to and deal with. Okay? Oops, what we got over here? Teach people how to. Okay, so becoming a better frost mage, right? So last night you said something, and I gave you 2 shout outs to the group, public, right? You should, anything that you say in private, you should not be afraid to say in public. Mrs. Frostmage kind of gets on me a little bit because it's not, I don't rip into her, but my criticism is pretty harsh of the board and of sometimes of other people. But when I'm actually talking to people, I take a much softer approach. I am quite upset with our neighbor lady for standing us up last week for steak sandwich. And she did, right? 48 weeks of the outside of last week, so including last week being 52nd week, in the 52 weeks prior to that, 48 weeks we've had steak sandwich with the neighbor lady. She chose not to have steak sandwiches with us. That's okay. I'm not mad that she didn't make it. I'm mad that she didn't even have the respect to send a text to us saying, hey, something's come up. I cannot make steak sandwiches tonight. I hope you guys have a good time. If that had come something along that way, no problem. All easy. We don't care the reason why she couldn't make it. We don't care we don't care the reason why she couldn't make it. Meaning, if she was at the hospital, we get it. We understand. Hey, I'm at the my daughter's at the hospital, granddaughter's at the hospital. Now I'm making steak sandwich tonight. Gotta go. Right? Short and sweet. Just anything to acknowledge. But that didn't happen. At 6:30, because we usually go at about 5 o'clock. Mrs. Frostmage kind of leaves Mondays a little bit early, so that they go for steak sandwich at 5:30. If not, Mrs. Frostmage gets home at 6, and then the girls go for a walk. It's shitty cold outside, so they would drive. Three of us would drive over there. At 6:30, we still haven't heard back from the neighbor lady. I said send a message to her to make sure she's okay. Right? This is us being concerned about the other person. We care about the other person because we're not selfish dicks. She didn't get back to us until Tuesday at 9 p.m. Oh, I couldn't make it. I went out with I'm going to call him boyfriend. That's not the term. I went out with my boyfriend and I spent the night at his place, and I just like, are you fucking kidding me? You could have just called us or just send us a text saying, hey, something's come up. I can't make it. And that's absolutely okay. Or, hey, I'm spending the night with Claude tonight. Can't make it. Again, we don't like Claude for different reasons. That's something else. But that would have been okay. We don't care that she did that. What we care about is that she didn't even call us. So we're having steak sandwiches here tonight. I'm cooking up 2 steak sandwiches. Two steaks. Oh, I don't have a steak sandwich here. No, because you weren't fucking invited. Because you blew us off. I'm just so mad. That's a good 3-outer here, right? 3-outer. Aces takes down Jack 10. Okay. This is a crazy call over here. I love it. This is awesome. He's right. This is awesome here. We love this play. So I'm a little bit critical of our neighbor. It's just why, but she has history doing that. She's done that several times now, and at some point in time, I believe that the meaning of life, as it were, is to surround yourself with good people and foster those positive relationships through respect and effort. You have to have respect and effort. Here it is, the effort. Your spouse is with you and you're with them because when you first started dating, you tried to spend time together. You tried to do things for each other. You try to be aware of and cognizant. So you're putting effort in there and you're respecting their time. You're respecting their space. Your friends are your friends for exactly that same reason. What becomes frustrating for people is when you don't have that respect or effort. This is why you have dissolutions of relationships, marriages, work, right? You feel like there's not the same respect and effort going back and forth in those two things. Paying your employees, and I have another book over here, 1,000 Ways to Reward Your Employees. Paying your employees more money is the most expensive way for employee retention. You can go and buy some gift cards, still going to cost some money, but you show effort, you show value, that they're important to the team. The thing recently is, hey, I've done this, this, and this for the company, and I'd like to have a mortgage, and you guys just did this. Champagne poker. We have a council, a city council, made up of 14 individuals, 13 councillors and is that right? 13 councillors and a mayor. They just voted to give themselves a raise. And Gondak, the mayor of Calgary, Mayor Gondak, she says that it would be inappropriate for me as the chair to forward the motion. That's correct. It would be inappropriate. But you can talk to your group and say, hey, I can't make the motion, but if we're agreeing that we shouldn't have a raise, you guys, someone here needs to make that motion. I can't do it. That is okay. She can say that. And she didn't do that. Instead, she held behind bureaucracy, saying it would be inappropriate for the mayor to make the motion as the chair. Or not the mayor. It would be inappropriate for the chair to make the motion. Someone else has to make the motion. That's correct. That is correct. But she can say to you guys, you don't want the raise, then do it. So what do? That decision, by the way, costs $58,000. Because we know that the mayor makes this, the raise costs this amount, and you can figure out the math. 13 times this, plus the mayor, that total amount, $48,000. For some people, that is a year's salary. Taxpayers just paid a year's salary because you didn't want to stand up and say, hey, one of you councillors, make a motion to not take a raise this year. That's it. That was how quick that decision is, right? And if you agree with that, you're going to have a tough time validating to the citizens that pay your salary why you should be in power. Like, why should you stay elected? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Shit like this just drives me absolutely fucking crazy. At least minimum 2 people on the city council said, well, we don't think we should get a raise this year. Then why didn't you speak up and say something? Why didn't you say no? We don't deserve we shouldn't take a raise this year. Why didn't the chair, in this case it just happened to be the mayor, why didn't the chair say it would be inappropriate for me to make the motion, but if you guys think that we shouldn't give ourselves a raise this year, you guys should say something, we'll put it through. Like, just absolutely fucking crazy. Bonkers. We're still going hard on this tournament, by the way. Let's take a quick look here. We are out of the rebuy period. I forgot to mark it down. What are we on here? Yeah, so it's only we just left it. We just left the rebuy period. So I'm going to mark this in. There's 2,238 people in this tournament. I'm currently 21 of 578. 21, 578. 576, sorry, 576. So now the real portion of the tournament comes along. Right? I, being 21st, I should cover everyone at the table. Here's a big guy. So what happened? I got kicked out? What happened here? Uh-oh. Okay, back. Sorry about that. Ooh, back. I don't know why it just crapped out all of a sudden for whatever reason. Craziness. Let's get everyone back in here. Got Rad Dad Poker in the background. We got Fazgaz in the background. Got me over here. We got to run an ad though. Teach you how to fish. All right, that's what we're talking about. Teaching you how to fish. So that when Hisgar, I was, as you said, I'm a higher eye level than you. Yesterday was the first time with some consistency that my damage is higher than yours. Right? You're lower item level than I am, and yet your damage is doing better than mine. So there's a couple different reasons why that is. Right? And frankly, I think it's all about rotation. You and I have kind of worked it through a little bit more, and we've fine-tuned the damage output. So now that my damage is higher, I still think there's a little bit more fine-tuning that has to occur here, because I just pimpled you, right? I just pimpled you on the damage last night. But it is the first time with any sort of consistency that I'm ahead in the damage, and that's good. But we're just going to do a little bit more, right? So, coaches, right? You're the WoW coach. You're elevating my game. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. But you have to speak in a way that works for me. In this case, specifically, speak to people in a way that they understand, not in a way that you understand. It took a long time for you to convince me that the blink is better than the shimmer. Now, I don't think that it is. Not in every situation. I think there's some other dungeons that the blink is better. But the reality is, at this point, we're lazy. We don't want to switch talents all the time. And I'm still hitting the blink twice, or the shimmer twice, when it doesn't work. I'm still doing it. And that's okay. Yeah, I'm still doing that. But like when it's not Smolderon, it's the second last buy. Tindril, the raid, he's the guy that does the roots and stops you, right? You and I were running and you said, hey, your movement is good here, because I'm just blinking out of the roots. That's huge. I didn't see the benefit. I didn't see the value. I said, I don't like to do that. And I kept saying that to you, and I pushed back, and you kept at it. And then you said, okay, well, this is why you do it, and this is how. And it took a long time for me to come around to that. But ultimately, I did come around to it. Again, if there's no roots in the dungeon, and you know there's no roots in that dungeon, that doesn't work. Or it's some sort of snaring technique, some sort of snaring mechanic. If something doesn't grip you and hold you, and the blink doesn't get you out, then the shimmer is actually better. And because that's what I use. Right? Does that make any sense? Okay, so we're back at it. So yeah, you just gotta be at the right place at the right time, and you've certainly elevated my game, and I'm ready to play some more. But I gotta win this tournament first. That's the reality. What's going on over here? That was yesterday. Oh, I didn't even stop at the stream. It just kind of crapped out for a moment. It's awesome. This tournament here, it's the only tournament I have going on, by the way. The bounties are about to kick in here. 420 people make the money. There's 494 left, so we've got to lose 74 people to the money. And when this hand is over, we're going to be slow until it kicks in. Oh, shut the front door. Who's this guy? Let's go give this guy a shout out. Doing a fast key, my first stream with them. I appreciate everyone's patience. Total Twitch noob. All right, let's make sure we give a shout out to this guy. Isgard, good job, buddy. I hopefully you hit the mute button there on my stream. This is him. He's streaming right now. Five followers. Hey, he's only got 5 followers, right? It'd be awesome if he went and gave that guy a follow. Costs nothing to do it. Taught me a ton of shit. This is his main. You can see he's got open here at 466 Frost Mage. I have a Frost Mage that's 475. Maybe it's 476.
Is the icicles over your head, but the harder these hit, the harder the icicles hit. And
all right, we got this open here. Let's. Oh, we don't have a commercial going. Oh, I think we're on break actually. So I've got a bunch of.
questions, comments,
Oh, there we go. 485 people right now.
I don't know how it's done on Twitch because, like I said, I'm a noob. This is my first time running. I appreciate anyone who took the time to watch me today. I think I can do this more often. Had to get over nerves in the first time. Horrid run. I fucked up my rotation a lot.
All right, we're gonna have to work a little bit with Hisgar on that. Just listening in the background. So we are in the mystery bounty portion of the tournament. There's 485 people. Rad Dad, yeah. Hello. Yes, excellent. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I had a rough day this morning, Rad Dad. This is the last tournament. In fact, this is the last one I have going on. It's the only one I have. We've got a 5-minute break. I will be back in just a couple minutes. 5 minutes. Go do your push-ups, your sit-ups, your leg flutters, your jumping jacks, whatever you need to do. Take 5 minutes. Go do some exercises and refill your water. Hydrate. Be back in 5 minutes. Right back. All right, back at it. Just as a heads up, all right, have completed. No, I haven't completed. Yeah, I have completed. It's 22nd today. So I will be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 2 more to do. Is that right? 4 stream and then 3. So no, I've got 1 more actually. 1 more to do. I've completed 80 push-ups, 80 sit-ups, and 168 leg flutters today. So I've got a little bit more to do. I've got found the mod button.
And all in with tens.
Rad Dad Poker, first time chatting. Welcome in, youngster. Welcome in. Let me give you another shout out here. That's why I wear my glasses as well, is to make me look smarter. Absolutely. Just as an aside, I find that I'm getting older, right? I just this year, like within the last 6 months, I'm now taking to lifting my glasses and setting them up on here as I take my hat off, because I'm looking at my phone and I can't read the phone anymore. So I need my glasses for driving, for seeing far away, but not for seeing close. So when I see it close, I can't. It's tough to read, right? So I just lift my glasses up and I can go. I can play without my glasses on World of Warcraft and on looking over my glasses, by the way, and stream, which is okay, but it's easier just to take them off. Red Dead Poker. You're gonna find out how many times they're gonna let you rebuy. Get it in there. Red Dad is a streamer as well. Welcome in again. Recap on here. There's 2,238 people started the tournament. 2,238 people. There's 463 left. I am currently 28 of 463. We also have the mystery bounties going on right now. Let's take a quick look. There is 1 $200 bounty, 2 $60 bounties, and 5 $20 bounties. So we're still 40 people away from the money, as well as the bounties kicking in, and it becomes bounty based, right? You gotta play the bounties. You gotta do it. What else we're gonna put up here is a legend. There we go. So you can see right about here that all those circles mean exactly what's on the screen there. Yellow is still in the tournament, red I busted out, green is this. Some days it's better than others, of course, but today was a bit rough. Tournament play, most days are a bit rough. Yeah. The challenge is done, by the way. It's been a bit, about a week, a little bit more than a week, but the $89 US to 1,000. So my journey started last year, January 4th. I deposited $20 into my party poker account to go on the Chris Ferguson challenge. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Oh, I am Canadian. I live in Calgary, Canada. Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Go Flames, go. I did deposit $20 Canadian into my PokerStars account, Party Poker account. And it took me 29 days to go from $20 to $120. And then went on the challenge, started the next day. Well, that's not true, but February 24th of last year, I started I took that $120 Canadian and converted it to American dollars. And the reason I did that is because the 2 websites I play now are in Canadian dollars. Sorry, are in American dollars. And then I would have to make the exchange rate every single day and then my bank account would fluctuate because it's going between American dollars and Canadian dollars, and it would change. It was tough. So I switched it over. So the randomness of 120 Canadian is $89 American. So I went from I started the challenge with 89 USD to 1,000 USD, and that's the reason why. It took me it took me about 10 months. Let's say that. Let's say it took about 10 and a half months to do that. I could probably, in fact, I will look it up. I'll look it up exactly. January 15th, so a week ago today, I completed that. And the 24th, February 24th, it would have been the year. So that's 1 month and 1 week. So five weeks short of that. So 10 months, 3 weeks. Is that right? No, 11 months, 3 weeks. 11 months, 3 weeks to make that happen. So less than a year. Let's look here. So I played for a total of sessions. I had 198 sessions last year. I played for 198 days. I finished the year so I deposited $20 into my one bank account, into my one account on January 20th or January 4th to December 31st. $853.47 in my Party Poker account, and $93.40 in my 888 account. That's this one. So that would be the same numbers that I start this year at. Right now I'm at $786.33 in my Party Poker and $264.03 in my 888 account. What's the damage there? 900, 1,000, 1050, $1,050, somewhere in that range, right? That's about it. So must be doing something right. So now the challenge is changing a little bit, but I've got to do it appropriately. Put some pressure on here. This is a terrible, you should not call this. This is a razor fold, right? Is this guy going to fold? He's put 45% of his stack in there, 42%. Is he going to fold his stack there? Okay, let's come back to me over here. And so now he's just kind of trying to figure out where he's at with this. My bet is going to be 8.3. Because it's small enough that puts this guy in pressure, but this guy has to call all in. Yeah, this is a terrible play. Yeah, I don't like that at all. It's razor fold. He should jam his whole stack in there because he doesn't want to see any more cards in here. And because I bet 6 on here, I'm not going to fold that. That's not an aware person. And that's okay that he's not aware, right? It's about learning and doing. I'm positive this guy's doing the very best he can with the information that he has. There's a better, stronger play that he could do there. Okay, let's come over to this one here. Let's get an ad in as well. Thanks for hanging out here, by the way. You could have done anything with your time, but you chose to be here. So thank you for being here.
I guess I haven't done this key on
Rad Dad Poker, he's. I think it's funny every once in a while his kids come in the background, right? That's awesome. I think that's great. During COVID, you see that. Is it? He must be some sort of English minister, English politician, someone up in whatever he does. Who he is?
I think they're gonna fill a cavity. Now, whether you have it or not, I guess.
And so he was at his desk, and it looks all posh, right? He's got all the books back there, leather bound. He's got his suit on.
I gotta be honest.
His kid opens the door and comes in, like, because it's a wide screen, just like mine. The kid's over here. The kid comes running in. The mom, I think it's the mom, maybe a house sitter, a babysitter, nanny, whatever you want to call it, comes running in and grabs the kid and runs back. Closes the door, and a couple moments later, the door opens up, and the kid comes running in and jumps on his dad's lap. And he wants to sit his dad while he's having this conversation. He's kind of pushing the kid back and away. I mean, it really kind of highlighted the point, and the reality is, we're people. We have real things going on. It happens, right? Sometimes our house is a little bit messier than others. Sometimes we have to work from home. We're having a Zoom meeting and the kids come in, right? That shit just happens. But it's real people. We shouldn't downplay that. In fact, we should be upping that. I do believe, like he was thinking it would be inappropriate to do that with his kids in there. That's why he was kind of pushing the kid off. And ultimately, I think he put the kid on the lap. I think I have that right. But either way, there was lots of comments to this politician about that. And a week later or something, he's in giving his meeting again. And I think he actually took the tie off this time. But his kid runs in and he sits the lap up and says, okay, you can sit here, but you just have to be quiet because I'm having a meeting. He's showing that he's a real person, that he has a family, and nothing changed there, right? There's no issue. There's no problems. We just kind of, it is what it is. And our appreciation goes up for that. Rad Dad, he's a father because he's rad and he's a dad. He's got kids. His kids come in there once in a while and just kind of turns and gives the comments and shares and just kind of go on their way quietly. They're doing their shit over here and he's doing his shit over here. We encourage. It's awesome. I love it. I love it. Go check the guy out. Anyway.
Same with you, Votrax. We want to come do a couple Tuesdays.
Oops. Okay. All right, so we're still trying to take this down. I'm 93 of 381. So we're going to have to do some more work here. We did make the money, by the way. I forgot to write that down. I do have it. I do have a spreadsheet in the background that I forgot where I was at. I'm currently 92 with 375, but I think it was like 38 of 420, somewhere close to that. The money is the 420. This is a bounty tournament. That $200 bucker is gone. Yikes. There's 260s and 420s. That's what we're playing for, really. That's what you're looking for. First place in this term is 125. Second place is 90. So the guy that won the ticket, won the $200 mystery bounty, has made more than the guy that's going to win this tournament, and it's still going on. Right? So just got to do it. Who's where did this thing go? 420? No. Okay. 120, 60. We're just scrolling through the people looking for whoever won the 200 bucker. We will be, like, I will be, 10 bucks. 7 deuce. Oh, I can't play 7 deuce. So, and I just saw that was 7 deuce for the first time just now. There's a 20 bucker. Nico Renault from Brazil. He won 20 bucks. Avner Felipe from Brazil has also won a 20 bucker.
$5 rebuy.
Oh, here we go. And Ian Nutt, he's won 20 bucks. So congratulations to those guys. There's a $6 in here. There's that should be it. Smart C. That's this guy over here. He's in for 4 bullets on this tournament. 4 bullets. Also, let's find players, find me. I'm free rolling at this point. Anything that we win at this point is going to be
Which is calling way wider than.
is going to be a free roll.
Well, it doesn't matter because I don't.
Good GG. Yeah. So we have a raise here. We'll get out of the way of this one. Right, the raise here is to put pressure on this guy. Right, he has to call it off. This is the same sort of thing that I think this guy should have done as well. Right, you don't want people to get in there cheap. He knows that he's not right, so he's drawing 9 outs here. 9 outs. That's not going to cut it. So I normally would show this because I would have flopped the set here as well, but he's already all in. I would have jammed on this guy and got all the chips. All right, we have the losingest hand in poker. We're gonna chunk it all in there. Just gonna min raise it here. Come over the top? Nope. That's like an ace king hand then. There we go. Take that bad boy down. What's this one over here? Let's go with this one. Fazgaz is going on in the background. Rad Dad Poker's on the background. Hisgar had to step out. He's got an appointment of some sort. So he and I will connect here in a bit. Excuse me. We need to give a shout out to 888 Poker TV. You know what? I screwed that name up. There's only 1 8. That's the wrong one. Sorry about that. I will be playing one more tournament actually. I'm gonna add another one in here. All right, so my spreadsheet. I list all the tournaments that I've played in for the year. I've shared this with Champagne Poker. You can see what I've got going on, where I'm in, who's playing, what tournaments I've bought into, the limits that I played, how many runners there are, etc., etc. Placed 10th out of about 20th today, and 11th out of 51.
All right, I'm back. Yes, and I did get it. Thank you.
The home. Oh, that's not the special. It's the home game. That's the wrong tournament.
After stream, because I'm gonna have to mess.
It's the home game today for whatever reason
Thank you very much.
on 888.
Hopefully, did I unmute myself correctly? Oh, it was a mouse here. I'll change my hotkeys on it. Just wanna.
This is not a very good hand. I know people love this hand. This is not a very good hand. But I'm actually going to play this because I'm looking for the bounties. Right? This is. These are not my games. This is not my forte. This is not my play. We're in trouble here. This guy's got the best here. Drawn dead. He gets it all here. Nice hand. Nice hand. He's going to get 1 bounty, and I'm going to be decimated here.
Yeah, that's what I don't
Yeah,
worry.
that's a good good hand.
I can't keep track with my thumb, but 2 is perfect. Okay.
Wow, 60 center.
Dag
Dagnabbit. I bought it. I played a tournament the other day, and the money thing totally messed me up. So I'm gonna open up the lobby on this one, and I can see that the payouts are 420 people get paid. Tells you what it is, all the way through. Yada yada yada. When I come to the summary, it tells me that the buy-in was this and the VIG is this. And so when you look at those things and you put them together, it threw me off because it's usually $1 for the buy-in, $1 for the bounty, and 20 cents for the day. Something like that. I just picked those numbers, but something along that line. When you
No action.
3 over here, pair the board here is what he's looking for. Just avoid the 6-outer, and he does. I bought into it and it said 0 for the buy-in, 3 for the bounty, and 30 cents or something for the other thing, which is pretty good, right? We'll just chunk it all in there. This should be all in. Like every person should be all in, all in, all in. This guy should be all in to put pressure on these guys, right? This should not be a call. This should be a raise all in. There it is, for the exact same reason. Now you're going to fold? You want to show that you're not going to fold your hand. That's exactly right. We need 9, couple outs here. No, and he's going to hit with the 5, so we're going to be out of this tournament. And that's it. That's it for us today. That's the end of the stream today. Out in 305. Made for out for 110. So I just free rolled it, but all right. So I bought into the tournament and I couldn't figure out why there was no payout. It's because the whole tournament was bounty based. I went out of that tournament in 7th place for $40. The guy that went out in 5th place made 0 because he didn't knock out one person. The guy that went out in 4th place made $5, $5.25 or something like that. The first and the second place made about $150 and $100 each. So it's important to know which one you're playing. I did not know that. So when you buy in, make sure you know what you're buying into. Secondly, you got to figure that shit out real quick. That, like, playing in that type of a tournament, a knockout, is not my style of play. I will make sure I'm not playing into that one again because I don't play that way. But like, holy snaky. Who cares? It's much more my style than your style, but I feel super bad for that guy that placed 5th, right? That's a long time to go, and he didn't get paid once. It's like, yikes. All right, that's going to be it for me. Go check out those guys, as I said. Gotta finish this one because I finished in the month. There we go. Rad Dad Poker. Hey, thanks for being here. Who cares? Champagne Poker. Fazgaz. Anyone else that I've missed? Thanks for being here. Your support is important. Your lurks are important. I got 2 socials. The first one down below is my YouTube channel. I upload these videos to the channel. That one that I went out in 7th place. I have pocket queens. The other guy had king 10 suited. I raised, he jammed, and I obviously had to call it off. I flopped top set. I lose to runner straight flush. That's awesome. Hisgar, when you come back, we'll talk about that. That's how many cards that is. Anything other than those specific cards, because he already had one. Anything other than those 2 cards is almost dead. Had to hit it perfect burn. And you want that all day long because the odds are great. The second one is my Instagram. Most of it is food. Like 95% of it is all food that I've cooked and made. I would love your comments. I have to eat every day. As Garth Furbaka says, I gotta eat every day, so I might as well stream it. He makes some fantastic foods. Go check him out. But I'm gonna head out. 30 minutes from now is going to be the 888 Poker home game. It is a super easy, super great, fantastic tournament because of the overlay. I didn't play it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and there's reasons why that is. Now I play it every week. I finished at the final table last week. I'm not going to tell you where I finished. I finished on the final table last week. It's a huge overlay. 888 Poker has a streamer, a member of their stream team that hosts the game. If you knock that person out, you win a $109 ticket, of which you can go in and I think it's for a $200,000 guarantee right now for $109. I mean, that's huge. And it only costs you $1 to get in there. So I highly recommend that. Yeah, it's huge. So I will be playing that one. And that starts in about 40 minutes. The stream starts in 30 minutes. You want to be there to make sure you're getting your channel points. But the stream, turns out 30 minutes. The home game starts in about 40 minutes. So, hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. You could have done anything with your time. You could have done this. You could have watched porn. You could have watched a movie. But you made the decision. You made the decision to be here, and that's awesome. I appreciate that. I think that word is overused too much, but right there. All love. Cheers, big ears. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Again, I'll be here. Make sure you get your push-ups and your sit-ups done. I am, and the other thing in my Instagram is that I'm in February on the 2,000 push-up challenge. It's this one I'm taking on. I'm not supporting their cause. I'm not participating, enrolled in their program, but I am going to do 2,000 push-ups. For the record, on the 19th. Yeah, the 19th. No, that's not right. By the end of today, yeah, like yesterday, I had completed. So on the 21st of January, I completed 2,000 push-ups already. 2,000 push-ups, 2,000 sit-ups, and 4,000 swimmer kicks, flutter kicks. Training for a triathlon later on, so this is why I do the flutter kicks. But that's it. Cheers, biggers. See you guys bright and early tomorrow. Should be about 8:30, 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. See you then. Cheers.